A brisk morning here at the All Red Aquatic Center in beautiful Orange County, California. Pomona-Pitzer's facing off the Chapman Panthers. A very interesting game. It's sunny out and it's a beautiful day too as well. Pomona-Pitzer Sagehands on a bit of a run. Of course, we know in the last 70 conference games, they have not lost, so they're very excited to keep that up. But for the Chapman Panthers, 2-0 in conference already, off to a very good start on the season. Only time will be able to tell how this game goes. My name is Lucas Patton, and I will be your play-by-play in today's game, accompanied by Thomas Glow with Ainsley Savant down on the sideline. And Thomas, break it down for me. Two great teams. What are we going to see?
Absolutely. Two of the strongest teams in the SCIAC Conference this year and as well as last year. Chapman Panthers have some great new stars on this team, looking to see if they can make a difference.
No doubt about that. And when you look at these team comparisons, Pomona has some absolutely phenomenal stats, Thomas. 25-10 in last season's tournament, But in SCIAC is where they make the difference. They were the national champions for Division III, and in SCIAC champions as well, 12-0 undefeated. Chapman Panthers 14-12, still more wins than losses, and in SCIAC 8-4, so very good for both teams.
Absolutely, yeah, and both teams this year have started strong as well. You see them both there at the top of the standings. Pomona with 3 wins, Chapman with 2. Both teams looking to stay at the top of those standings this year, seeing if they can punch their ticket into the SCIAC tournament at the end of the year.
No doubt about that, Thomas. Both teams off to a very good start. Pomona leading it with 3-0, but Chapman Panthers right on their tail, 2-0. Currently Chapman third, Pomona first. CMS just getting squished in the middle at second spot in SCIAC, but both teams, I mean, they have some absolutely phenomenal players, and you can't have a good team without good players, Thomas, so it's going to be very interesting to see who's able to really step up to the game.
Absolutely. For Pomona-Pitzer, we're going to take a look really quickly here at their goalie, Zosha Amberger, number 1, an absolute rock in the cage for the Sagehens team, 2024 All-American first team, and this year she has continued to be tested in big moments, and she has continued to lock down that defense this year, working in tandem with Thea Pine to create a very dynamic goalkeeping duo that a lot of teams have struggled to find success against this year. As for the offense, there are so many strong players that Coach Alex Rodriguez has to utilize on the offense. We're going to take a look at number 8, Briens Lang, 2024 All-American second team, has been a key offensive force for the Sagehens team this year, leading the team in both goals with 23 on the season, as well as leading the team in scoring efficiency. Pair a player like that with other threats such as Mia Amberger and Gabby Lewis, as well as Peyton Richardson, the team's center, and you have a very dangerous Sagehens offense.
No doubt about that, Thomas. And now looking at Chapman in the cage, of course, they're starting goalie number 1, Zoe Francis. This is her first year playing for Chapman, transferred in from Los Angeles Valley College, where she was a 2-sport athlete, but that doesn't give her the justice. All-American second team last year, all-conference first team, and these stats are absolutely spectacular. 147 saves on this season, above 50%, just about 50.9 save percent. And when you look at goals allowed on average, 14.61, maybe wanting to lower that down a bit, but as every team has, the best form of defense is your offense, and boy, does Chapman have an absolutely flying offense. The record breaker for the Chapman Panthers is number 4, Alyssa Fricker. She has been absolutely phenomenal, and in her 2.5 years here at Chapman University, she has broken the record over 223 goals. We'll mention that a bit more later in the broadcast, but now looking at her stats for this season, 62 goals, 76 points overall, and over 50% shot percentage, so she has been absolutely flying on the season, and no doubt that in this game, I'm sure she'll be able to keep it up.
Absolutely, and it's so rare that you have a player like Fricker with just the ability to take over a game the way she does. She's able to put up so many points on just a single game, absolutely can turn the tides of a single game.
And no doubt, and when you have two teams as good as the Chapman Panthers and Caltech, they are absolutely just essentially an immovable object meeting an irresistible force. Two very good teams, and especially when you have two goalies as good as Amberger and Francis in the cage.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be tracking their head-to-head matchup between the two goalies throughout this game, as well as seeing how well Fricker does to add to her total tally of goals, seeing how far she can stretch that record this season.
No doubt about that. And really, when you look at some of the storylines with this team coming up, Alyssa Fricker, as we mentioned a bit earlier, did break the record and now will go down to the pool deck to celebrate her success.
And now for today's roster, starting with Pomona-Pitzer.
Yeah, beautiful ceremony, touching for Fricker and her family as well. I'm sure they're very proud of her. An incredible scoreline to have just 2.5 years into her time at Chapman University, breaking the all-time scoring record. It's incredible.
It is incredible, Thomas, no doubt, especially considering, as you mentioned, only been here for 2.5 years. The last record was set in 2008 by, excuse me for just a second, Jennifer Manship. 2008, she scored, and she was here for 4 years, so she did it in half the time. Alyssa Fricker, I mean, when you have a player as generational as she is, there's very few stopping her.
Absolutely, an incredible player, and so much support around her as well. Kendall Papan, another strong force. Papan and Fricker together have been sort of the two-pronged spear of this Chapman offense this season so far. They've worked incredibly together, and they've put up so many points collectively for Chapman this year.
No doubt about it, and currently in the season, currently as it stands, when you look at the last 3 seasons, excuse me, Chapman Panthers have had a bit of a rocky boat. Last year in conference, they were 8-4. The year before that, 4-8, and the year before that, 5-9. And when you look at the past 3 years for Pomona-Pitzer, they haven't lost a conference game.
They haven't. It's going to be a super tough matchup for this Chapman team this year, but it's going to be crucial in their path back to the playoffs. Last year, they were able to punch their ticket, finishing 3rd in the conference. You mentioned 8 wins. That's, I believe, the most Chapman women's water polo team has had in recent history. And it sounds like we have some words from our sideline reporter, Ainsley Savant, so we're going to see her very soon.
Record breaker here at Chapman. Kendall, I'm going to start with you. You were a starter for today's game. How are you guys
I think it's just really important to make sure that we follow along with our game plan. Our coach, as well as all of our players, we have been doing a lot to get prepared for this game, and it's super exciting. I feel like we have a lot of talent this year and a lot of new incomers that will really benefit us, and it's super exciting for us to just be able to use all the talent that we have to bring out a winning.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Alyssa, you're a recent record breaker of the most goals scored at Chapman since 2008. Did you ever think you'd be standing here as a record breaker, and how is this going to motivate you for today's game?
So I'm a transfer, so I don't know years. So I did not think that I was going to break the record, but I'm pretty happy and content with it. And I'm really grateful for my teammates that celebrated when I did that whole winning record break. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And Kendall, you were recently we're about to see real quick is pretty funny, so feel free to take a look.
You see that? See that? Oh my god. Nicole has like a little freckle here, and I was like, I recognize it. You look at it, it's scary. That's for sure KP, and I think those are Nina's eyes. Shoot, this mouth. Wait, Jamie, can you look at me? I'm gonna say Jamie, even though I know that's not right. So you got all of them. Oh, actually? Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. It's Annika Lou's mouth. Jamie's eyes for sure. I'm gonna say Amelia's hair. You got them all right. Let's go! This is me, and this is Kaylee. Yep, that was perfect. I think it's Kaylee's hair. Natalie's eyes. No idea. It's Aveen and Meg. Is it Annie Lewis's body? I don't know what my eyes look like. I don't know. Okay. That's Fricker. And then, oh no. I'm gonna say that's Aveen's nose and Riley's eyes. So, this is Zoe, I think Abby, and Nicole. Yeah. Oh. Okay, it's definitely Annika. Is that Emily's hair? Kaylee's smile?
Make sure you guys follow Chapman Women's Water Polo and CSBN.
Go water polo.
Go Water Polo! Go Chapman! Thank you.
Welcome back to the All Red Aquatic Center, and you love to see team spirit, don't you, Thomas? You have a team as close as these Chapman Panthers, just coming together, making that nice package as some of the players go out into the pool and get ready for the initial sprint in this game.
Absolutely. We're getting ready to kick things off here. We're seeing if Chapman can make anything happen. They're looking to get on the board early for sure. Come out strong against this very difficult Sage Hens team. They're looking to make waves today out here.
No doubt, Thomas, and when you look at some of these coaches for Pomona, Alex Rodriguez, the head coach, has spent 14 years as head coach for the men's and women's program at Pomona and has had an incredible success. 19 conference titles in between the men's and the women's in the last 2 decades, and only has had 11 regular season titles and 3 SCIAC tournament titles in both categories, and some of them as recent as 2021 and last year as we get underway for the initial sprint in this game. And it'll be Pomona who are able to get the win on the initial sprint. When you have a game as colossal as this one, of course, early in the season, but still wanting to get off to a good start, it's crucial for both sides to just stay tight and stay frosty in the initial few moments.
Absolutely. You mentioned early on in the season, this will be another great comfort win for the Sage Hens should it go their way. Looks like we have an early exclusion on the side of the Panthers.
It appears it'll be an exclusion foul already pretty early on the season, but now Pomona have a player up, trying to take advantage of their space. Lines up the shot, takes a shot, and Francis is able to save it. Safe and sound. Zoe Francis, her first save of the game.
Great job done by the defense of the Chapman Panthers right there. Number 19, Lulu Gaither, taking the shot. Didn't see a lot of ball movement from Pomona. Uncharacteristic. It allowed Francis for a nice block. Gets her onto the board early in the game.
There's an ordinary foul against Jamie Chin, and Chapman still with possession of the ball. Now tries the shot, but is just blocked by the Pomona defender. It was Kaylee Steer, the senior center, who was able to get the block for Pomona. Now they're looking to make a quick break in these first few moments of the game, but just able to recover. We see her on offense a lot, Thomas, but Alyssa Fricker able to get the takeaway.
Absolutely strong defense coming out early here on in this game from the Panthers.
It'll be Francis to distribute. Now Fricker playing deep. Eves trying to get something, is fouled. Now crosses the face of the goal. Kendall Papon now, one of those star players for this Chapman side as the ball's turned over. But Kendall Papon was All-SCIAC second team last year and an All-American honorable mention in 2024. She had 12 goals last season, 29 goals last season, and was 12 for 14 out of the sprints.
Absolutely. She's been so instrumental in this Panthers team.
As the Sagehens are looking to try to get something off in this first break in, Francis. Low shot right at her on the face of the goal and is able to just scoop that one up. And it's been quite a busy first few moments for her. Already her second save of the game. But still, currently as it stands, Chapman Panthers 0, Pomona-Pitzer Sagehens 0. That'll be Chapman back on the attack. Eves takes a shot and just saved. Amberger with a huge save, but it was, of course, Alyssa Fricker, the offensive machine for this Chapman Panthers side. And now it'll be a quick break for the Sagehens. Tries to play it across the face of goal, not able to. It was Papon to disrupt, but still holding on to the ball. Ziegler just gets the ordinary foul now with some time, switches it to the corner, and switches it back across the face of goal. Has some space in front, two defenders, and Francis in front, takes the shot and puts it into the top of the corner for the first goal of the game.
Yeah, the Sagehens were looking for that catch and shoot on the interaction, kicked it out to that far side twice. First time there was some mishandling, dropped the ball, I believe kicked away from her. And on this one, on their second attempt, they are able to find the net, puts them on the board early here in the first quarter.
Now game back underway. It'll be the Sagehens who get the scoring off first in this game. And that'll be the Chapman Panthers' turn to try to get a response as exclusionary is called. Chapman now with a man up. Just waiting in front of the face of goal. Fricker now has some space, takes the shot and saved by Amberger. Had a defender with her, but still very well done by Zojia Amberger, the starting goalie for the Sagehen team.
Absolutely, and the Panthers come up short on their first power play of the day.
It was Lulu Gaither who got the game underway for the Sagehens, and now they're looking to add on to their score. Cigar. Now Ziegler has it with some space, takes the shot and just squeaks by the hand of Zoe Francis. Lisbon Ziegler gets the second goal for this Pomona side. And now bring in the substitutes for Pomona, wanting to just maybe give some rest to their starters. Of course, very important, that rotation. And an interesting story for the Pomona-Pitzer Sagehens. Almost all of their players have had some game time. The majority have played the 15 games, but as we see on the replay, just squeaks by the right hand of Zoe Francis into the bottom corner. Maybe a bit of beginning, just shaking off the dust in the first few stages of the game. And now with a little under 3 minutes remaining on the clock, it'll be Pomona with the lead, 2-0.
Absolutely, you can see how these power plays have been killing the Panthers early on in the game. But looks like this is going to be a quick turnaround. Back to Panther ball.
Quick turnover for the Chapman Panthers as they look to get it developing quickly. Papan just gets the foul, ordinary foul on that one. Just waiting for her teammates to come up and help. And now we're seeing Alyssa Fricker play a lot deeper than we typically see her, but no worry to that as the shot is saved by Amberger again. Her third of the night. Nothing's getting by her in this first quarter, Thomas.
Absolutely. Meg Peters there in the whole set. They're looking, try to get that ball in. Chapman doing a great job of getting in, the ball into their whole set, but unfortunately coming up short. This is a dangerous Sagehens defense.
And now one of the players for the Sagehens cap fell off, but no matter, a huge save by Francis and is able to get the ball under her possession. And Francis with a lot of action in this first few moments, but beautifully distributes it to her teammate who tries to dribble and picks up or gets an offensive foul, in favor. As it appears, there'll be a stoppage, an exclusion as the timeout, has been called by Coach Eric Placel, the head coach for these Chapman Panthers side. And in the first few moments, Thomas, it's been a very quick start from this Pomona side. Of course, we know that they're typically one of the most winning teams in the SCIAC conference, but currently as it stands, they hold the lead 2-0.
Absolutely. They've done a great job at jumping on those power plays, those 6-on-5s, and that is the mark of a truly great team. And this Sage Hens team is a truly great team. You see their power play conversion rate is very strong. They capitalize on the mistakes made by the Panthers, and it turns into good results for them, as we're seeing here early on today. As you mentioned, 2-0 lead early in the game. Just what you want to see if you're a Sage Hens fan, pardon me, as they look to continue their undefeated run in the SCIAC conference.
No doubt about that, Thomas. Before the timeout, we saw an exclusionary foul against Natalie Sullivan-Wu, sophomore from Burlingame, California. Pomona resident too, so one of the Southern California natives playing here in Orange, California as the game is back underway. Frances high off her goal to get the ball past to Papan, back to Papan. And now she has some space in front, plays it out to Fricker, back to Papan. Plays it into the corner, back to Papan and takes the shot, and huge save by Amberger. Stretching out and able to get the save, and still nothing has gotten by her.
Absolutely. You see Amberger besting her counterpart seemingly early in the first quarter. Has done exceptionally for the Sage Hens so far today.
It'll be an ordinary against the Chapman Panthers. It was Riley Eves who picked that one up. And now the Sage Hens' number 3 takes a shot, skips off the water and in. Huge goal. Natalie Sullivan-Wu just got exclusionary foul, came back in the game, and nailed the Chapman Panthers to the cross, as we see on the replay. Skips off the water and just bounces into the top right corner. Nothing Zoe Francis could do. And Pomona now with the 4-goal lead. Pomona-Pitzer set 3, Chapman Panthers 0.
Absolutely beautiful skip shot from the Sage Hens attacker. Just what you want to see.
No doubt, Thomas. Pomona off to a very quick start. Little under 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter of action. And it has been the Pomona show. Already 4 goals for them. As Amber collects, looks to distribute. Finds the far side corner. Tries to line up a shot, has some players in front of her, passes it across the face of goal. Tries to line up a shot, now nothing, and just above the cage. Not able to get that one into the back of the net. Zoe Francis distributing. Pomona pick up the ordinary foul, but now a quick break. And it'll be an offensive foul against Pomona. Appeared to be a good break for the Chapman Panthers, but just picked up that foul. Now back at it, Papan. Fricker now. Back to Papan. We've seen this link-up play a line between Papan and Fricker, Thomas. And now back to Papan, and shot is saved again by Amberger. She has been an absolute brick wall, not allowing anything to get by her in this first quarter of action.
Absolutely. And you might start looking at a change of pace. You might want something for the Panthers to think about. They're taking their power plays very methodically, very slowly, and it hasn't come up, hasn't yielded any results for them yet. They're 0 for 3 now on the day in the 6-on-5.
No doubt, and now it'll be the Sage Hens back on the attack. Looks to line up the shot, bounce shot, and just above the face of goal again. Her second shot that goes astray. It was Jacqueline Hickenbotham, the freshman center, and now dribbling by herself. Can she make it? No, she can't! Off the fingertips of Amberger and hits the post and out. Kendall Papan not able to get the advantage of Amberger, and she'll stay with her clean sheet for this first quarter. Now it'll be the Sage Hens back underway. Some high pressure from this Chapman defense. Alyssa Fricker just holding on to the back of her. Is able to pick up the ordinary foul. 4 seconds remaining on the clock. Shots taken and off the post. And Francis collects, and that will be the end of this first quarter of action. Currently as it stands, Pomona with 3. Chapman Panthers still yet to break the slate. With all that said and done, so much action to come here on CSBN on Flow Sports, and we'll be right back after this short ad break. Now back at the Allred Aquatic Center. And so far it has been all Pomona-Pitzer. 3 goals in the night already. Very quick start offensively from this Pomona side. So far it's been Ziegler who's been really standing out. 1 shot, 1 goal. Only 1 shot needed, I guess. Took that advantage and that opportunity when it fell to her, alongside the likes of number 19 for this Sage Hen side, Lulu Gaither. On the season currently, she has 20 assists and 11 goals. She was part of the 2022 National Championship side that won at Pomona-Pitzer and led the team in sprints with 43 her freshman season and had 29 sprints, first in conference in SkyX. So consistently, I mean, since her freshman year, Lulu Gaither has been absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely. 2024 All-American second team. And she's now stepping into that senior role. I was able to hear from Coach Alex Rodriguez earlier this week, and she was one of the players who he mentioned has really stepped up both in game and out of game to lead this the younger players on the Sage Hens crew.
No doubt, as both sides are finalizing their final changes or arrangements for this second quarter of action. When you have both teams as competitive, Thomas, of course, Pomona currently has the sword, I guess, in their hands. You could say 3 goals leading against Chapman, 0. But you can't only talk about goals. Zasha Amberger already has 7 saves in the game. Without her, it would be a very different score right now, Thomas.
Absolutely. It's not like Chapman hasn't been finding their opportunities. They've been taking shots on the goal all day in that first quarter, and it's just been Amberger who's been too strong of a force for them to crack.
And Kendall Papan tried her best to win the sprint, but it'll be Pomona who get it underway. Now has a defender in front of her, still passing it around. Alyssa Fricker, a bit too high pressure from her. It'll be Steigar playing it across the face of goal. Has it in the corner, has some space at the near post, and tipped off of the hands of Zoe Francis, who collects. And she sets to make a quick break. Alyssa Fricker, the record breaker, has 1 defender in front, plays it to Papan. And now Papan tries to get a quick break. It'll be an offensive foul and an exclusion. And now Chapman will be playing a man up. Back to Papan. Has Eves to her left, elects to find Fricker, now to the corner. 14 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Alyssa Fricker, Papan. Back to the corner. We've seen this triangle of passes throughout the entirety of this Chapman's offense. Now it'll be back to Papan and shot, and is blocked. Absolutely locking them down. Number 4 for the Pomona side, Kaylee Steigar. Another senior center, was part of that championship team too. And that quick break and executed perfectly. What a sequence for this Pomona side. And luckily is able to end up in the goal. Our star player, Brianne Lang, the junior utility, is making herself useful. Nails the 4th goal of the night. And now, And now it'll be the Chapman Panthers with a lot of work to do. 4 goals under.
Absolutely, and as we noted earlier, the power plays have not been going well in favor of Chapman so far. Take a look at the shot there. Pomona's done really well to capitalize on these quick breaks and opportunities.
No doubt, in a quick break for the Chapman Panthers and her 8th of the night. Zasha Amberger almost close to double-digit saves in the first half of this game. That her 8th of the night. And if she continues to play like this, I don't see anything getting by her, Thomas.
Absolutely not. Panthers really struggled to capitalize.
And the ball is taken away by the Pomona defense. It appeared it was Arya Magna, junior center, the LA native, who was able to take that one away. And now it'll be a quick break for Pomona. And takes the shot and off the post and out. It appeared number 12 for Pomona, who took the shot. Now it'll be a quick break, slow break, kind of what we've seen throughout this Chapman's offense, just slow and methodical. No need to rush. Pomona has the lead with under 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter of action. And it won't be Zasha Amberger, it'll be Mia Amberger on the attack. Plays it across the face of goal, takes a shot to the near post and saved by Francis. Both goalies for either side have been extremely busy so far in this first half of action, Thomas.
Absolutely. It seems that Amberger is just barely getting the best of her counterpart. She's been so strong, especially in those 6-on-5s. And also it's worth noting that Pomona has been dropping a field player into their goal, as you'll notice. Essentially giving them a second goalie. It seems like it's been paying dividends in this first half.
A bit of a soccer terminology that I suppose could be applied to water polo, parking the bus. When you're on offense, you're on offense, but on defense, just loading the goal, not allowing anything to get by. And so far, it's worked out excellently. Now it'll be the Sagehands back on the attack. Shots taken at the near post. Francis tips it, but not enough. Flies into the top left corner. It was Lulu Gaither, her 2nd of the night. And now, Pomona starting to stretch out their lead a bit. Pomona-Pitzer with 5, Chapman Panthers with 0. As we see on the replay here, just assesses her option, is patient, nails it at the near post. Francis gets the tip of her fingers on it, but just not able to squeak it out.
There's just so much power coming behind that throw. So much hard work being done by these players. You know, water polo is a leg sport as much as it is an arm sport. It's not just throwing. But to get yourself that power, so important for these players.
No doubt, and now we see that triangle of passes for the Chapman Panthers. Fricker takes a shot, hits the back of Amberger, but still not able to get by her. Her 9th of the night, and has 1 assist too. She has truly been flying for this Pomona side as the quick break is started. Crowding the box, and somehow Francis is able to save the one-on-one. And you have to give credit to Zoe Francis, the goalie for the Chapman Panthers. She's been left out to dry for a few moments in this game, hasn't she, Thomas?
Absolutely. She's fully keeping her team in this game. The score is 5-0, which seems like a lot early on, but 5 points can definitely be made up in a half. And when you have an offense as strong as this Chapman Panthers offense, Pan, Fricker, they have the potential there.
No doubt they are coming off of that big win against Caltech. And shots taken right at the face of Francis and is able to recover. As it appeared, Riley Eves was the victim of the foul on that one. It was against, it appeared, Kaylee Steigar. We've mentioned her a few times so far in the season, 14 assists and 16 goals. So she's been very, very hardworking as the timeout is called, it appears. Timeout called, and now, Thomas, if you're the Chapman Panthers, down 5 goals, but still relatively early stages. It's not the second half of the game, but we are deep into the second quarter of action. What would you be doing down there if you were Coach Placel? What would you be telling your players?
Absolutely. I can only imagine that he's telling his players how to be running this 6-on-5 we're coming into. They're 0-5 on the day in their power plays, which is not a good stat you want to see.
No doubt. And now we'll see him back with that triangle passing. Tries to squeak it by. Tries to find the far post. But wasn't able to just get it by Amberger. Nina Vastic. She's been part of that triangle of death, you could call it. Kendall Papan, Alyssa Fricker, and Nina Vastic have just been playing it around. That seems like a strategy that these Panthers have tried to apply, but now it'll be the Pomona-Pitzer Sagehens with the strategy on offense. Passing it around. Has some space in front. Alexa played to the defender, but very well defensively done by Alyssa Fricker. And we've seen that a few times as well, Thomas. Of course, in water polo, positions aren't as established as maybe football or soccer, you could say, where you have one position and you stick to it. In water polo, you're essentially playing every single position, as we saw a field player earlier playing in goal for Pomona. And Alyssa Fricker, not only on offense has she been very good, but defensively, we've seen her with a few takeaways as she elects to take the shot. Takes the shot, and again, it's tipped by Zosha Amberger. And Amberger are now in double digits, 11 saves in this first half of action. If it was another goalie, Thomas, this could be an extremely different story.
Absolutely, that defense, it's worth noting that defense is so important, of course, in this game. It'll really set the tone for your team. As you mentioned earlier, these players have to be strong on both the offense and the defense to make these starting rosters.
No doubt, and now we see Avim Cunningham. The freshman center gets some fouls, and now some space for the Sagehens. Has Francis in front, just fakes her out to the right, and that will be the 6th goal of the night. And of course, Lisbon Ziegler is able to just get it by Francis for the 6th of the night. And now, Chapman Panthers really looking at some work to do.
Scored by Pomona-Pitzer's number 7, Elizabeth Ziegler.
Ziegler has done excellent this season. She's got great vision, great passing ability, set up those scoring opportunities for her teammates. And as you can see there, she also has it in her to take it to the cage herself.
No doubt, some heavy pressure from this Pomona defense. It was Peyton Richardson who's applying the high pressure. As the exclusionaries called, it appeared. Chapman now playing again, man up. And these are the opportunities that you have to take if you want to start scratching your way back up to the lead. Alyssa Fricker now has some space and time. The Sagehens crowding the goal. Papan playing it out. Back to the corner. Can she find Fricker? She can find it. Back to her. A little bit of tiki-taka, water polo-wise. And tries to just squeak it by Amberger. But of course, the Sagehens parking the bus in the goal. And that, her 12th save, I believe. Yes, her 12th save of the night. And now a quick break on offense for the Sagehens. A little bit under 45 seconds remaining in this first half, of action. And it'll be the Sagehens putting the pedal to the metal on offense, still going for it, takes the shot somehow. Francis is able to tip the skip shot up and out. It was Bella McGowan, the junior utility, Chicago native, who wasn't able to get the better of Francis on that one. And now it'll be the Sagehens back on the attack. Has a lot of space in front of her. Will she elect to shoot it? Plays it out to the right. Able to recover it now past the back. Into the mix of things. Ascora now. Playing it to Hickenbotham. And can she make the shot count? No, she can't. Francis is able to recover, it appears. Ruthie Lax, Chapman Panthers, were the one who blocked it, but now 1 second remaining on the clock. Kendall Papan just not able to be conscious of the time, and now halftime, Thomas. 6-0 Pomona. Chapman with none so far, but they've had those opportunities. The goalie, Zosha Amberger, 12 saves in that first half.
Absolutely, she's doing incredible, and you see that two-person in the cage, so tough to deal with. When the goalie is pushing you on your near side, you're going to be looking for that cross-cage shot, but when you have the second player in the goalkeeper, there's just no way to make that shot happen.
No doubt, Thomas. And when you have, I mean, you have to give credit to these Chapman Panthers. Alyssa Fricker did break her record in that Caltech game, but so far in this game, just not able to get any goals past Amberger. And you have to give compliments to the goalies. They have been absolutely flying. But with all that said and done, now we have a hit from our very own Ainsley Savant. Ainsley, what do you got for us?
Thank you so much, Thomas and Lucas. I am here with Alyssa Fricker's mom, Kim Fricker. Kim, please tell us how it felt watching your daughter break that record last game. She broke the record since that was in place since 2008. Please talk us through that.
Well, it was so funny because Alyssa's such a humble player, and she always kind of gives kudos to everybody else in the team. I didn't even realize that she was about to break the record until after the Thousand Oaks game, and we thought it was going to be broken then, but then it was kind of like this building anticipation going into Caltech when she actually did break it, and it was just like this amazing feeling, you know, to know it was coming and then to see if she could do it, and then ultimately she did, so that was wonderful.
Truly must have been such an amazing moment to be part of. And what's next for her? Is there anything else that, like, hopefully more broken records that she'll be part of? But what's next?
She really focuses on every single game and all of her other players and teammates. And so she just loves the game. She's been playing since she was like 5.5 years old. So it's just so awesome to see where she'll go. I do know that there's another record kind of looming. So I think that she has her eye on the prize, but she really has her dedication to her team and just seeing what they can do. So if she breaks another one, it'd be fantastic. And we would look forward to that as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kim. I'm excited to see the rest of her game.
Me too as well. Thank you so much.
And we are going to take a quick break, but we will see you back for the third quarter.
Back underway at the Allred Aquatic Center. If you're just checking in here at the halftime, my name is Lucas Pan, accompanied by Thomas Crow. And Thomas, what an absolute game if you're a Pomona fan. They have been flying 6-0 in this game. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, Yeah, it's a very tough offense to stop, but I will have to note that Chapman University has been 0-7 in the power play so far, which has really been biting them in the butt here.
No doubt as we go down for the initial sprint, it is won again by the Pomona-Pitzer Sage Hens.
It's 3-0 now in the sprint for the Sage Hens. Definitely made a difference here.
Brianne's Lang, that star player who we noticed, or mentioned, excuse me, at the beginning of this game, won the sprint. And now it'll be back underway. Takes the shot and saved by Francis. No messing around early in the game for Francis. Her first save of the game, and only 30 seconds have gone by.
Absolutely. It's going to be the first test now for Sage Hens second goalie, Thea Pine. Has been incredible in the cage this season.
No doubt as the ball is recovered again. It'll be Thea Pine. Maybe an interesting decision, although she has been very good, has played 11 games and has 50 saves on the season, 48% save percentage. So she has been rather consistent when it comes to being in goal. But Zasha Amberger in that first half of action got into the double digits as the ball is just placed right into the hands of Zoe Francis. And now it'll be a quick break. Francis found her teammate Jamie Chin on that one, who plays it across the face of goal to Fricker. We saw a long shot from her a few games ago against Concordia, and now all by herself. Can she make it count? No, she can't. Still, nothing for this Chapman offense. And now, not Zasha Amberger, but Thea Pine will be the one who makes her first save of the game. And still, no goals for the Panthers, and now another goal goes in for the Pomona Sage Hens. Bottom of the corner for that one. And what a huge goal. Mia Amberger, the junior attack. This her 21st goal of the season. And now the Sage Hens will extend their lead to 7. Chapman Panthers still with 0.
This is a super tough squad to go against. They've got some fast, strong swimmers. Great at making quick breaks like we're seeing now.
Now the quick break again will be established. She plays it across the face of goal. Has Francis in front. Plays it again and quick tip in and it's good. Huge goal. Another one for Lisbon Ziegler, the hat trick. Her third of the night. And there has been no stopping the sophomore attackman. The San Diego native has been absolutely proving her worth. That goal, her 12th on the season. And now, the Sage Hens approaching that double-digit mark. Chapman still unable to break the seal. Currently, as it stands, Sage Hens 8, Panthers 0, as the ball is recovered and passed out to Thea Pine. Now it'll be played up quickly. Ziegler again. Looking for her 4th goal, plays it into the danger zone. Francis tries to recover it. It'll be a turnover. It appeared it was number 19 for this Pomona side who gave up the ball, but now the first goal for the Panthers is in. And of course, huge goal. It was surprisingly Meg Peters who got the game underway for this Panthers side, the senior center. This her 14th goal of the season, and not maybe the player who we expected to get the game underway nonetheless, but still got it underway as we see her on the replay, just out-muscling her defender and puts it into the bottom right corner. And now maybe Chapman Panthers starting to build slowly that momentum that they need to scratch their way back up into the game. Now it'll be Pomona back on the attack, looking to make up for that mistake defensively they made. Takes the shot, and it's into the top left corner. Goals galore in this game. And of course it is Kaylee Steiger. Her first goal of the game, 17th of the season. And there has been no stopping this Pomona offense, has there, Thomas?
Absolutely not. As soon as the Panthers find their way on the board, Sage Hens have an answer for that. It's going to be a tough road back in this one for Chapman.
Tough road indeed. As Alyssa Fricker tries to get something, but again is locked up by her defender. There's Lulu Gaither defensively, who was able to come back. And now the long pass is played. Ken Francis intercepted, just able to get it before the Pomona attacker. It was Mia Amberger looking to get her second of the night. But Francis was able to recover. And now it'll be back under Chapman possession. Offensive foul against Pomona. As the exclusion is up, Chapman again playing one man up. We see Pomona crowding the cage. Papan playing it around, takes the shot to the near post, and is it in? They'll count it, I believe. Yes, they will. And it's the second goal of the night for these Chapman Panthers. Nina Vastik, the freshman attackman, her 7th of the season. And as we see here on the replay, somehow just managed to find that tiny gap of space in the top right corner. Beautiful precision from her, but still work to do for these Chapman Panthers.
Absolutely beautiful shot from the freshman. She's been a dangerous lefty for this Chapman team. Great newcomer, great addition. She's come up in some huge moments this year. And she gets a second on the board for Chapman.
No doubt we've seen Vastik in this game pass it around in that far side corner with Papan and Fricker. And ironically, you could say she's the one who gets her name on the board first, as the Sage Hens look to push it to double digits now. On the far right side, takes it in, has a defender in front, gets fouled, but still likes to play it quickly. Another ordinary foul against the Chapman Panthers, plays it into the mix, just not able to. And it was the shot clock that ran out of time, I believe. And now a quick break for the Panthers, dribbling it down. Riley Eves plays it out to Papan, but has a defender all over her. Back to Eves. Can she make it count? But Thea Pine absolutely smothers it and needs to recover quickly after the foul. Chapman Panthers back in front of the face of the cage. Looks around for her options. Chin. Back to Fricker, and can she get her name on the board? Pomona somehow, some way, Fricker is able to get the goal. It seemed like the whole Pomona side was caging the crowd, Thomas, but Alyssa Fricker working her magic and was able to get her first goal of the night. As we see on the replay, look at how many defenders were in the cage, and still, somehow, Fricker was able to get it above the total of 6 arms that were blocking her.
Yeah, great shot from Fricker, but you will note that that the exclusion was called on Thea Pine, the goalie. Obviously, that's going to make it a lot harder for the Sage Hens defense, but undeniably a beautiful shot from Fricker.
Shots taken and saved by Francis. The Chapman Panthers still not allowing these Pomona-Pitzer Sage Hens to get into the double-digit mark. Francis with a huge save up to Papan, and Papan, can she make it worth? Has a foul on her, now just waits for her teammates to come up and recover. It'll be Papan playing it to Eves. Now Riley Eves has two defenders in front. Passes it around, now Alyssa Fricker. Alexa tried the lob shot, and just above the cage, we saw a shot like that from her in the Concordia game. She just lobbed it all the way across, essentially from halfway in the pool. Tries to replicate her magic, but not able to. And now it'll be back on the attack. This Pomona side tries a lob of their own, and a huge tip from Zoe Francis. Off the tip of her fingers, bounces off the top of the bar and out behind the goal. So you can't knock Chapman for an effort. They're trying everything in their ability to get this game back to tied. And now it'll be Pomona still holding on to possession. 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Shot clock, excuse me. And now passes it around. Ordinary foul called. It was Diana Khalid Hattar Who had that one? And now another offensive foul. It'll be Pomona playing a man up. They have the advantage when it comes to players in the pool. And shots taken and saved again by Francis. A bit of a mix-up, but somehow was able to recover. But hounding her, and somehow it's able to be tipped in. How did that happen, Thomas? It was number 14 for the Pomona-Pitzer Sagehens. And somehow they were able to nail it in. Bella McGowan, just too much pressure for Francis to deal with, as we see here on the replay, just hounds her and somehow manages to squeak it into the bottom right corner. And now the Sagehens break the double digits mark in this game. Now it'll be back to Chapman. And a turnover. Again, a recurring problem that we've seen these Chapman Panthers give up. Lots of turnovers, and maybe that a reason as to why they've given up possession. And now the Sagehens look to make a quick break. Has some space in front. Tries to play it into the face of goal, and somehow Francis is able to make another save. And that, I believe, Francis' 15th save of the game. And a bit of noise coming from the crowd, but it'll be back underway. 6 seconds remaining on the shot clock for the Chapman Panthers. It'll be an ordinary called against Pomona, now with some space. Thea Pine, confusion, and it won't count, I believe, and now dribbling by herself, has some space after the miscommunication from the Chapman Panthers, and takes advantage of that one at the near post. That will be the 11th and the second of the night for Natalie Sullivan-Wu.
Great job in that 1v1. So tough for the goalie. The Sagehens attackers was able to just skip that one in there.
No doubt, skip shot into the bottom left corner, but a few moments ago, a bit of confusion. That will conclude the third quarter of action. With all that said and done, only a quarter remaining on the clock here at the All Red Aquatic Center, and we'll be right back after this short break. And now we're back at the All Red Aquatic Center here in Orange County, California, at the beautiful Chapman University. At the All Red Aquatic Center, home of the Chapman's water polo program. And currently as it stands, Chapman with a lot of work to do in this fourth quarter of action. Chapman 3, Pomona-Pitzer Sagehens with 11. And you have to say it's been an all-round amazing display offensively from the Sagehens side. Wouldn't you say, Thomas?
Absolutely, yeah. They've done a great job at setting up their players. They're shooting .345 on the day, a very solid stat line. Chapman, on the other hand, hasn't been able to find the same success. They're shooting only .167 against Amberger and Pine for the Sagehens, and that's not exactly what you want to see. The Sagehens defense has done a great job at running the clock for the Panthers, forcing them into taking these inoptimal shots on the goal, and that is what has been allowing Amberger and Pine, of course, aside from their raw talent, to be making these stops and preventing the Panthers from getting a lot of points on the board.
Beautifully said, Thomas. And that essentially the main story so far. Although the Panthers have incredible individual talent, the beauty of team sports is that you cannot win without a team performance. And you have to give credit to the Sagehens. They have been absolutely hounding these Panthers, especially the starting goalie now not in, but for the Sagehens, number 1, it was Zosha Amberger. She played 24 minutes. Out of the 13 saves she had, only 1 goal against her, Thomas.
Yeah, incredible work from the senior goalie. You'll see a lot of why she was selected to that first team All-American last year. She is proving her worth time and time again for the Sagehens team. Has been such a great player.
And no doubt she's been carrying over that momentum from her freshman year, where she was ACWPC first team All-American, first team SCIAC Defensive Player of the Year, and somehow scored 2 goals as well. Great to see that momentum carrying over as the Chapman Panthers allow the Sagehens to collect the sprint. And now it'll be the Sagehens who will start this 4th quarter of action on offense. It'll be Steiger. Chapman Panthers crowding the goal again and just hits off the post. Kaylee Steiger tries it, but Pomona able to recover. Now play it out to the far side. Playing it back, shots, take it to the near post and in. And another goal for Pomona, her 3rd of the night, another hat trick. Lulu Gaither, the Palo Alto native. Of course, she was part of that 2022 national champion side, and she's proving it as we see on this goal. Missile to the near post. Nothing Zoe Francis could do. And now as it stands, Pomona holding a 9-goal difference over the Chapman Panthers. Chapman with 3, Pomona with 12.
Goal was scored by number 19 for Pomona-Pitzer, Lulu Gaither.
Now it'll be back underway. Chapman trying to hold their heads up. Fricker plays it to Papan, and Papan takes a shot and somehow still nothing but able to recover and somehow gets the recovery. Instincts. Absolute instinctual offense from Jamie Chin. Her 1st of the night and her 3rd goal of the season.
Number 8, Jamie Chin.
Great job done by the Panthers here. Create that opportunity. Great reflexes by Chin. It turns into a goal for the Panthers. We haven't seen a lot of this game.
No, we haven't, Thomas. So far, it's been the Pomona show for the entirety of this match. And it'll be the Pomona-Pitzer Sagehens who, after the foul, able to keep position. Steiger plays it out to the far corner. And takes the shot to the near post. Hits the post and out. As the Chapman Panthers look to go quickly, Francis, quick pass to Piers. Alyssa Fricker, who gets the ordinary foul, just waiting for her teammates to come up. Plays it into the middle to Riley Eves, and can she make it count? Yes, she can! Riley Eves, the junior attack. Her 7th goal of the season. And now Chapman Panthers, although a big margin, Thomas, still holding their heads up on offense.
Absolutely great job by the Panthers to try to keep themselves in this game. They're still playing hard, swimming hard down the pool, and turning these turnovers into goals.
No doubt. We'll be back underway. Pomona on offense. Francis allowing a lot of space towards her near post, but just checks it. Returns to her position. Steiger plays it out to the far corner. Back to Steiger, fumbles it. Has to track back a little bit to recover. No need to rush. 1 second left on the clock. Somehow hits the post and out. And that would have been an amazing shot. Essentially a buzzer-beater goal if it went in, but to no avail as the ball is turned over by the Chapman Panthers, and it'll be Pomona who are allowed to get the takeaway.
Not super fun there. Looks like Papan was hit in the back of the head by the ball there, leading to the turnover. That's never fun.
Now it'll be back on the attack. Skip shot, and it's good. Another goal. Her 2nd of the night, Brian's Lang. That highlight player who we had in the beginning of the game is showing her worth.
Goal was netted by Pomona-Pitzer's number 8, Brian
That her 25th of the season. As we see on the replay, skip shot to perfection. Nothing you can do if you're the goalie. It's so difficult for skip shots just because it's bouncing off of the water and ricocheting. Not too much you can do. It's the predictability of that, Thomas, almost near to impossible.
Pretty much, yeah. Beautiful placement from Lang as well. You can just see how many different threats are on this Sagehands offense. 7 different players have found the net in this game already. So many different tools to make an impact.
No doubt, Thomas. As the Chapman Panthers try to make something. Sweeper keeper. Thea Pine coming far off of the cage. And somehow is able to get the takeaway. And now looking for a quick break. Back on the attack. It'll be Pomona. Playing it to the far right corner, has some space. Finds Bianchi. Picks up the foul, and now Pomona will be underway. Now playing one man up after the exclusion of Alyssa Fricker. It will play to Steiger. Steiger lobs it across the face of goal. Now some space, tries to nail it in at the near post, but not able to. And Francis gets hounded heavily as the timeout, it appears, was called. Lucky call for the Chapman Panthers. It appeared that Francis was under some very heavy pressure from the Pomona's offense, just riding them aggressively. But now they'll have a timeout and a time to make a plan on how to come back from this game. 8-goal deficit currently as it stands. 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining on the clock. Chapman Panthers 5, Pomona-Pitzer Sagehands 13. And Thomas, if you're a coach like Eric Blassel for these Chapman Panthers, you've been in these situations before. Of course, it has been a more difficult season so far for him. In the last few years, they have had relative success. Of course, last year, as you were mentioning, 8-4 in conference, but still 12-14. So not the best, but still not the worst. If you're Coach Blassel, what are you trying to reaffirm to your players right now?
Absolutely. You're still looking to learn from a great team such as these Sagehens. There's a lot of things they're doing well. Coach Alex Rodriguez has done a great job at coaching this team. So he's looking most likely to get these reps in against this team, see if they can make something happen. 4:30, it's going to be tough to score 8 goals. Not impossible, but it would take a miracle for these Panthers.
A miracle, no doubt. When you're facing off the Division III national champions like the Sagehands, it's always a very difficult performance to come up with if you want to beat them. Not too many teams have. So far this season, only 7 have. And in Skyac, nobody has yet, Thomas. As the game is back underway, it'll be the Chapman Panthers to get us back. Now Francis. The Pomona defense absolutely riding them. As the foul is called, and now Chapman Panthers again on offense playing man up. It'll be shot and just above the face of the goal. It was Annika Liu, the Cupertino native, the sophomore. She was a 2-time USA Water Polo All-American in high school. And hopefully she'll be able to translate some of that skill into the pool as Pomona is back underway. And just hounding her. Rather aggressive foul from Lanius, but it'll be an exclusion for the freshman, Kate Lanius.
Exclusion and penalty has been called on Chapman's number 11, Kate Lanius.
Kate Lanius, for being a freshman, 15 assists, 4 goals. She's been very good, but now it'll be the free shot for the Sagehands, and it's saved for Francis. Might not have been one of her best days, Thomas, but Still a lot to hang your head on, especially after a save like that.
Absolutely. She's had so many great saves today against a very tough Sage Hens team. She should be proud of her work.
No doubt, it'll be a Inoue. Plays it into Eves. And can she make it count? Gets hounded aggressively, but shots taken. Just not able to get enough power on that one. Riley Eves was the culprit of that shot. Wasn't able to get the best of Thea Pine. And now it'll be another timeout called.
Timeout has been called by
Especially with that Sage Hens defensive strategy they've been utilizing a lot today, that dropping a player into the goal. You're going to be looking, if you're Chapman, you're going to be wanting to look to move the ball around quickly, get some good passes off, some good catch and shoots to catch and shoot. It's the hardest shot to block in water polo. They're looking for that quickness, that rapid fire strategy, but it just hasn't been showing up from the Panthers. The Sage Hens remaining defenders have been super oppressive, done a great job at shutting down this Panthers offense, shutting down Fricker, shutting down Japan. A lot of the big threats, a lot of the big name threats on this Chapman team have not been able to find success today.
No doubt Thomas, and we saw them 3 days ago on Wednesday get a huge win over University of Laverne, 21-10. And then before that, just weren't able to get another win against Princeton University, lost 14-5. But so far, you have to say on Skyac, they've been absolutely flying. Their first Skyac game was won against Whittier, 20-6. Their second was won, another huge margin, 19-3. And then, of course, Laverne, 21-10. So you have to say, Thomas, when it comes to conference games, the Sage Hens have been absolutely flying.
Absolutely. They have not slowed down for the past couple of years, and it doesn't look like they're going to be slowing down today.
No doubt, and you have to give them tremendous credit. They've scored 60 goals in conference out of the 3 games they've played. So averaging 20 goals a game in Skyac. I mean, they've been absolutely flying, as they have been in this game. And now it'll be the Sage Hens back underway. But the ball is recovered by the Chapman defender. It was Kimi Ginoza. And now in the hands of Francis. Trying to get ahead of her defender on that one. It was Annika Liu. Now it'll be back underway for the Chapman Panthers. Plays it across the face of goal, just not in time to get the shot off. Annika Liu, currently on the season, 1 assist and 1 goal, as the long ball is beautifully played from Pine to the corner. Plays it across the face of a goal again. Has some space in front of him. Takes the shot at the near post, and it squeaks in somehow. Another goal for these Pomona side. It was Diana Khalid Hattar. Her 3rd goal of the season. And now the Sage Hens extending their lead again to a 9-goal margin. Little under 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Chapman 5, Pomona 14. And you can't knock the Panthers for not trying, as the foul is called.
Exclusion has been called on Pomona-Pitzer's number 13, Harper Thomas.
Exclusion called. And the goal is made for the Chapman Panthers. Just another one. It was Nicole Inua. Her first goal of the season. So for the juniors, something to hang your hat on. Although it hasn't gone your way, you've still broken that golden duck. And now she has her first goal of the season.
Absolutely great use of that. Great job drawing that penalty. A great job finding the net to convert on the penalty shot.
Now it'll be the Sagehens back underway. Just hounding her, the Chapman defense, but still with possession of the ball. Takes the shot, it's blocked by the defender, not able to get recovered. It was a foul, it appears. It was Nicole Noah again on defense, and now dribbling it, has some pressure from the defender, tries to make something, but the ordinary is called. Kimi Ginoza, the freshman tack. We've talked a bit about her previously in this final quarter of action, but now less than a minute remaining at the All Red Aquatic Center. And with the score and the time, it appears it'll be the Sagehens who run away with the win, but not after they get one more goal. She's dribbling, can she execute it? Shot's taken, and yes she can! Beautiful shot, and puts the game to bed. Her first of the night, Layla Zimchek, the Santa Barbara native. It appears it was 16, Sarah Archer, excuse me. Her fourth goal of the season. The life was USA Water Polo Academic All-American for all 4 years in her high school career. And you'd love to see players who can transfer their ability from high school into college excellently. As the timeout is called, it appears.
Timeout has been called by your Chapman Panthers.
Another timeout for the Chapman Panthers. Now Thomas. Chapman currently losing 6. The Sagehens with 15, a little bit under 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter of action. If you're Alyssa Fricker, coming off such a huge game where she broke that record against Caltech, how are you feeling after a game like this? It has been a bit slower for her. Maybe not what you would have expected?
Absolutely not. Of course, against a tough team like Pomona, it's always tough to, expect good results, especially against a team that beat you last year 19-5. Of course, you're looking and hoping to break that streak, to maybe make something happen. Maybe this year will be the year that you take down the Sagehens. But unfortunately for Chapman, it looks like it won't be this year. Coach Eric Placel most likely looking to get in one last good 6-on-5, one last good rep for the girls before the clock runs out on this one.
No doubt. Out of the 17 games that these two teams have played in school history, still they haven't been able to beat these Sagehens. And after these final 28 seconds, it'll be the Sagehens who increased that 17-game lead to 18. And you have to say, just saying this, an absolutely spectacular stat to hold above your head at the end of the day, isn't it, Thomas?
Absolutely.
Now it'll be the Panthers back underway, looking for one more goal before the break is called. Ginoza, or not Ginoza, excuse me. It was Baiha, and now back underway. Can she get the shot off? And yes, she can! A consolation goal, but still a goal nonetheless. Demi Ovalle, the junior utility player, her first goal of the season. And although it's a consolation goal, Thomas, still another Chapman player breaking their golden duck. And as the shot's taken by the goalie, bit of confidence from Thea Pine, but still, it'll be the Sagehens who run away victorious. Their 18th consecutive game against the Chapman Panthers with a victory. And now they'll extend their lead in SCIAC strong at that first holder place.
Absolutely not the ideal scoreline if you're a Panthers fan. But as you see, the Sagehens stopped utilizing that dropped field player in the goalie. Panthers able to convert some of their power plays towards that second half. A lot of great things that they're building on here. A lot of great things to carry into their next game, their next conference game, their next tournament, and a lot of good things to look forward to for the rest of the season for this Panthers team.
No doubt, and although the Chapman Panthers weren't able to run away with their first victory against the Sagen sides, they were the first team in SCIAC to hold them to the least amount of points in comparison to Whittier's losing to 20, Caltech losing to 19, and Laverne losing to 21. So, although they lost this game, maybe for future reference in the SCIAC, hopefully the Chapman Panthers will be able to keep on providing competitiveness at the top level.
Absolutely. They're looking to, again, they're looking to punch their ticket back into the SCIAC playoffs at the end of the year. They fell in the semifinals to Claremont Mudscript Schools, who went on to lose to Sage Hens in the finals, of course. If they can make it back, I'm sure that'd be a great boost of confidence. But it is a long road, a lot of the season left to play. And a lot of water polo to look forward to for both of these teams.
No doubt, and now we can see Ovalle moments ago was celebrating with her teammates. First goal of the season for her, for the junior applied human physiology major. Although she had 2 assists, her first goal. And although you can't get a win, Thomas, I mean, you still have to hold your head above your shoulders, breaking that golden duck and finally getting your first goal of the season.
Absolutely, yes. So again, so many bright spots in this game for these Panthers, so many buds to let keep growing. You want to see those keep growing for the rest of the season. You want to see those flourish into some really great things for this Panthers team. They've got some great young lefties who have made such a difference on the season, and they'll be looking to carry this, carry whatever momentum they can scrap together from this game into the rest of the season.
No doubt, and looking at Pomona, we had a double hat trick for them. Lisbon Ziegler with 3 and Lulu Gaither with 3, and now as we look at some of the stats, a lot of exclusions for the Sage Hens side, of course, playing an extremely aggressive form of water polo, absolutely crowding the cage, but 13 exclusions, almost double of what Chapman had, which were 7.
Absolutely, and if you just look at those power play conversions, 0.83 rather, not what you want to see if you're a Panthers fan. You know, those 6-on-5s are really what's going to be making the difference in the game.
No doubt, Thomas, and with all that said and done, a great game of water polo. Of course, so many events going on. Of course, we saw a double hat trick from the likes of Ziegler and Gaither, 2 extremely good players who played on this Pomona side.
Absolutely, yes. And we're going to toss, and Ziegler, which you just mentioned, is our CSBN MVP for this game, and our sideline reporter, Ainsley Savant, has her down in the lobby.
Lulu Gaither, you had 3 goals today and 7 shots. That is quite amazing. What was like the key point to your success today?
Well, I think we've been working a lot in practice the last few days on just how to play offense against their defense. So I think a lot of it is just movement on offense and being able to find myself an open shot and get that quick catch and shoot. And then, just working with my team and trying to find the most open shot for me. Yeah.
Totally, yeah. And how are you going to build on this performance future games as well?
We head to Michigan next week, which will be very exciting. We've got 4 games there. So I think we're definitely going to watch a lot of video, look through Chapman's defense, which was pretty effective for us to practice on, and go from there. And yeah, we got practice the next week or so, so we'll use that to be prepared.
All right, well, thank you so much, Lulu. Congrats on your win today, and I'm going to send it back to you up in the booth.
Thank you so much, Ainsley, for that great insight. And you have to give her lots of credit. Lulu Gaither, huge performance from her. Although the likes of Chapman Panthers were able to maybe get a few more goals, hold their momentum, a little bit of energy above their head. But, of course, it was the Sage Hens who continue their streak of 18 games not lost against this Chapman side. They had a great performance, but from me up here in the booth, my name is Lucas Panda, accompanied by Thomas, and we'll look into some of the game highlights from this match of water polo. Of course, we saw some absolute fireworks in this game. Goals left, right, and center. So many things going on in this game, but You have to talk about him, Thomas. I mean, some of the players for this Pomona side were absolutely electric. You have to give credit to the likes of Zosha Amberger. She was making saves left, right, and center, but it was the Chapman Panthers who were able to get some goals of their very own. So, although it was a bit back and forth on occasion, still a rather dominant performance from this Pomona side.
Absolutely, and it's now.
No doubt. Of course, Zoe Francis had a lot of work cut out for her in this game. But with all that said and done, a beautiful game of water polo. Of course, we saw some absolute electric plays. And with all that said and done, my name is Lucas Pan, up here in the commentator's booth, accompanied by the one and only Thomas Koo. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and hope you have a good evening.